You all participated in different endeavors that you took established characters and roles that existed before you became a part of them. And you owned them and you made them icons for our generation, for everyone here celebrating. I just actually want to get your take when we live in an era right now where we see so many remakes of television shows, movies being recycled. You know, what's your opinion on this direction where, you know, we keep seeing Hollywood just be turning out things that we've seen before and maybe not so much with the successful results of, you know, yourselves for what you did. You did a great job of doing that, and I want to get your take in seeing it today.
For myself, I feel that the stories are timeless, and a lot depends on the team that is put together creating it. In other words, you know, I think J.J. Abrams did an incredible job on the new Star Trek. It was fabulous. I loved every frame. And I'm not a Star Trek lover, but he made me a Star Trek fan with that movie. So it really depends. Each time you take these characters, you have a chance to rebirth them with new spirit and new artistry and a new team who can bring their craft to the moment. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, you know?
For me, briefly, when I go to watch something, I just want to be transported.
Yes.
And I need to step out of being in the film business, which is hard to do sometimes. It's real hard not to be judgmental, not to be critical, because I expect the same about me. I expect them, you know, I expect them to be hard on me. I expect them to really analyze me if I'm prepared doing my job. But I just want to be transported, and a lot of times with the CG and special effects, they're sort of usurping or upstaging the storyline, you know? And I just want to see a great story. You've got to transport me or I will rip into you.
That's the Marine.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I go to the movies I like and don't go to the ones I don't like. And, you know, to me, it kind of is, because we're all the results of being a remake of something that existed before us. And I think my wish always is, as you talk about the Star Trek, or I guess the new Planet of the Apes and everything, is that as long as it's talented actors and a great production team, I'm fine with it. What makes me really sad is if, like what they did with Battlestar Galactica from Flash Gordon, and I never saw it. We had such a total wonderful history of the TV series, really just kind of, I don't know, like somebody was smoking too much or something, because there was no flavor of the magic of Flash Gordon. So that bothers me. But when they stayed true to the vision of the original piece, I'm thrilled.
I think the key word there is magic. As long as the movie's got magic, I don't care if it's a repeat character. Yeah. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, the question is, how do you feel about all the remakes that are continuing in Hollywood?
My three colleagues have said it, beautifully. Things and art, whether it's good art or bad art, is your individual opinion, but it's creative. And any time you create something, I have a strong dictum that I think I bored Aaron with it. You create it with the hopes, either consciously or unconsciously, more often than not, to be able to get into the collective conscience of an audience. And I think when you can do that, that's the point of art. I'm not talking about what is good and bad. You want to get into the collective conscience of an audience. As an actor, that's what we all want to do. So whether it's done in 1930 or it's done in 2011, if it's achieving that and it's doing it well and adjusting. I mean, you look at something that Michael Bay does. You can't follow it, but it's sheer, absolute genius. His frame, the story is no story. I mean, I love it. I think it's one of those things that you have a script set and said, "Oh, we're doing this today, but don't try to make it logical for the other day." But the man is an absolute genius when he stages it. He knows what the camera loves to do to throw things into people's minds. And I know people who hate action films and say, "The guy's incredible." Yes, because he gets into your head for those 7 or 8 minutes that you're watching the scene. And ultimately, I think, and I say this with all the braggadocio and self-confidence that I can muster at this point, excuse me, we have done, all of us, people in the other room, we have done something right, obviously, because for 31 years, it's gone from generation to generation. I'm speaking as the oldest person here, generation to generation. And we have subconsciously gotten into your minds, or you wouldn't be sitting here.
That's so cool.
We've achieved what we wanted to do, and that's really what it's all about. Past is over with. You said this one, just a beautiful comment, and she really summed it up. You do your job, and you're honest to what the original was.
Right. Finding
You're honest to you, not imitated, but honest to its feeling, honest to its meaning.
Great job.
I'm going to take a dealer's choice here because it's the question that I've been wondering about recently, and that is back in the old days, back in the 40s, we had beaten the Japanese with the atomic bomb, and we had Captain Video, Adventures of the Electronic Age. We had Space Patrol, the Atomic Age. We were going to space. We know it's out there. We know we can handle it. Got through the 50s into the 60s. We're going to the moon. Space, the final frontier. Ranger 3, a space shuttle. Has the time of the space hero gone by? We don't have space shuttles. We have no intention of getting space shuttles. We're going to send some cameras out. We're told that maybe perhaps sometime in the next 40 years we might put something together that might go somewhere, that might start something that will eventually lead to someone being somewhere other than on the Earth. Can we maintain a space hero when we have no more dreams of space?
Well, I think space is infinite. I think, there's places where man hasn't gone before, right? It's a lot of black holes out there, and I think there's always going to be room for a space hero.
It's also, anything that is fantasy, whether it's going to the journey to the center of the earth, or the bottom of the sea, or the planets, or heavy duties, we've had movies made talked about heaven. I think we so want to think there's something magical out there, and something that's good, and something that somehow will rescue us from our own inner experiences of difficulties. And I think whether it's the sea or the land or the ocean, people want fantasy. And I think that's what we provide.
Yeah, I don't think there's any block on it. If it's good and it's exciting, and the reason you go to space is because it just obviously, it's endless. We don't know where it ends, and you can keep going. I mean, think of something a favorite story of mine is Anne McCaffrey's The Ship Who Sang. There's any folks, raise your hands if you know it. Anne and I met at a convention in the early 80s in Liverpool, and we did a reading from it. And I always wanted to see it made into a movie, and I tried. It's extraordinary. It's a ship, a rocket ship that's a woman. Because when you're born deformed, in the period she said it, they take the brain and they put it in a titanium shell, and that runs the ship. The one thing it can't do is fall in love. She falls in love with the pilot of the ship.
Oh,
And I got chills, and that's it. Years before I got around. Pick it up, folks. It's short, but it's Anne of Greatness before she got into the other great books. She's a magnificent woman, but it's the thing that made her. The Ship Who Sang. I guarantee you, you'll pick it up, you won't be able to put it down. That is a perfect example to me. As soon as you said it, it came to mind. Because the hero and the heroine, and the idea that she's a titanium shell in the ship, and she fell in love. And there is a love scene that they break through. But it's endless, and you can't quarantine that kind of thing. Again, I agree with you wholeheartedly. On the water and the sky, it's endless. It's endless. There's no end to it.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that I think we're in right now, a economic and political slump. And I think that at some point we will be back to investigating the space and frontier. I think it's just temporary right now. People, it's just natural for them to dream and to wonder what's out there. And I think it's too important. Just there are satellites out there, and how important that is to our communication systems. So we're going to be flying in space. Just right now, we're dead in the water. Let's put it that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being our heroes. And